Now we start in Nigeria, where the central bank has sacked top executives of Skye Bank over capital adequacy issues. Now, Chief Executive Timothy Oguntayo, who led Skye to acquire nationalised lender Mainstreet in 2014, resigned before the announcement on Monday. Last year, the central bank gave 3 commercial lenders until June 2016 to recapitalise after they failed to hit a minimum capital adequacy rate of 10%. Local media are reporting that Skye Bank has a non-performing loan portfolio of just under $2.5 billion. Now, Deji Badmus joins us in Lagos with some insights on today's events. Deji, as always, welcome to the show. Now, of course, we know Skye Bank had been in talks to raise about $150 million for the bank. What happened with those talks? And, of course, could we see the bank heading towards nationalization now that the CBN has taken over?
Well, thank you very much, Richard. Unfortunately, Skye Bank could not raise that money, and that's the reason the CBN has decided to step in. They were giving a deadline, not just Skye Bank, as a matter of fact, 3 banks actually, but unfortunately, Skye Bank could not meet that deadline. Skye Bank was not able to raise the $150 million you talked about, and that is the reason the CBN has taken over. Now, the CBN says it is putting up the bank for sale. As a matter of fact, the CBN has actually appointed a new management for the bank. And so the bank will continue to run pending when it is able to find a buyer now. So the bank, of course, will continue to run. The bank is up for sale, and the CBN will continue to shop for buyers. And as soon as it is able to find a buyer, then, of course, that buyer will take over the running of the bank. And, of course, this well, if you like, interim management now that the CBN has appointed will have to give way, Uche.
Now, Deji, we know the central bank had given about 3 commercial lenders until June to recapitalize. Skye, of course, was one of them. Do we know anything about the other 2 banks?
Well, right from when the CBN gave this deadline some months ago, it refused to disclose the name of the banks, of course, for obvious reasons. And even today, when the CBN governor addressed journalists in Lagos, he did not mention the other 2 banks. And since Skye Bank is the only bank now affected, it basically means probably the other 2 banks have been able to meet the deadline, because if they were not able to meet the deadline, I'm very sure the CBN would have come down hard on them, and of course their management would have been sent packing. The CBN would have taken over. Fact is that Nigerian banks, well, the CBN governor maintained that the Nigerian banking industry is still very healthy, that Nigerian banks are healthy, even though the size of their non-performing loan is actually worrisome. And that's the situation with the 3 banks that were actually giving this deadline now to recapitalize. So, you know, for now, we do not know the other 2 banks, but it would appear they have scaled that hurdle, if you ask me, because the CBN hammer did not come down on them, Uche.
Well, thank you so much, Deji, of course, for those insights. Deji Badmus joining us in Lagos.